talks and guide about audit reports. It's about the guideline as to elements that are of standard best practices in writing an audit report, and that is what we shall be examining now. Therefore, in this video, we will be looking at the audit report using different examples expected of us for learning. What are the milestones and expectation in this video? One, we are going to talk about the elements that annual reports and accounts or audited financial statements should contain. Then we will look at the sample of how the audited report should be written. Then we will move on to what should be the audit opinion, how should it be framed and sign off properly. The sign off structure, the opinion structure. Then we will wrap up. Before we leave this slide, it is important for me to let you know that ISA700 actually is the foundation for audit reports, and it branches across other three ISAs: ISA701, ISA705, and ISA706. ISA701 deals with the key audit matter. ISA705 branched into modification and qualification of audit reports, and ISA706 emphasizes emphasis of matters and other matter paragraphs, how to write them. So therefore, what I'm saying is we are covering here ISA700 on unqualified and unmodified audit reports. I'd had videos already on modification of audit reports. You can check it out so that we will not waste our time on that. The video is already here. So, in moving on now, let us look at the audit reports, the opinion and other elements, especially the expectation of the institute towards us. At this level of our education, it is important for us to be able to critique and know how audit opinion should be formed and presented. So therefore, audit practices is a practical topic. Advanced audit and assurance is a practical topic. So as much as you may be in an audit firm or you may not be opportune to be in an audit firm, try and understand how opinions are formed in an audited account. Basically, that is the essence of this topic. Having established that, let us move on. These are the elements expected in a standard audit report. So the standard audit report under ISA 700, that is International Standard on Auditing 700, forming an opinion and reporting on financial statements is set to 1. Address the shareholders. It must be both explicit and implicit that the report is addressing the shareholders. So it must be clear. 2. It must be as simple as possible outlining what the report refers to. The report refers to the independent auditor's opinion as regard audit. So it's an audit opinion. It must be clearly stated that it's an audit opinion. Also, the responsibility of both the auditor and that of the management must be emphasized in the report. Also, an explanation, clear explanation of the basis on which the audit opinion rests. And this is the critical skill that's expected of you to gather. Ability to look into the financial statements, gather the audit evidence, audit procedures, and form an independent opinion. So that is the practicality of the aspects of this syllabus. Last but not the least, that must be covered rather in this topic is expression of your independent opinion. Now I'm putting you in the position of an auditor. You must express your opinion. There are other things that will form part of the audit report, like the signing off and the like, which we are going to deal with. Having established this, let us move on to the sample audit report and buttressing the elements one by one. Don't forget the introduction must be there, addressing the shareholders. It must be clear. It must outline the purpose of the report. Under the introduction of our report, we must set it clearly that we are addressing the shareholders, and also why or what form of report is this? The question must be answered. So it's an independent auditor's opinion. And as auditor now, we have audited the accompanying financials of, for example, GJAMES Associates and Co., which comprises the statements of financial position. Let me pause here and ask you a question that by now you should be able to answer. As we continue, you will see that every element that made up a financial statement are enlisted in what's in our introduction. And it is important for us at this stage to enumerate them. So the statement of financial position has been looked at or into, and also we are reporting on the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income. Also, we are reporting on statement of changes in equity and statement of cash flows for a specific year, and a summary of significant accounting policies and other explanatory information. What I just read and said are contained in IAS 1 about presentation of financial statements. We are putting everything together because at this stage we are to be master of our craft. Having said that, now management's responsibility must be expressed. Don't forget, when we started, we said it, that management responsibility must be stated and the responsibility of the auditors must be equally stated. So management is responsible for preparation and presentation of these financial statements. So they gave it to us, we audit it and return to them. And for such internal control, we'll look into their internal control for the purpose of determining how we want to approach or how we've approached our audit. Must be stated. Then our responsibility. Our responsibility is to express an opinion, independent opinion for that matter, on these financial statements based on our audit. Don't forget, based on our audit. ISA700 on qualified and modified audit report is about forming an opinion as to the fairness or fair view of the reports they presented to the shareholder. So based on our work done and what's at the basis of our opinion is our work done. So we conducted our audit in accordance to ISAs, that is International Standard on Auditing. Also International Accounting Standards, IAS. And those standards require that we comply with ethical requirements. So it is our responsibility to conform to ethical requirements like auditor's independence. A lot is being said in this little format. It's condensed. And we perform the audit to obtain reasonable assurance. You will remember, the best of our audits can only give us reasonable assurance. Reasonable assurance. Whether the financial statements are free from material misstatement or not. And we let them know what audit involved. We've gathered our evidence. Also, we've used the best procedures and we've tried as much as possible to do our part as regards misstatements, materiality, frauds, and error. So, after we've let them realize what we've done, in making our risk assessments now, the auditor consider internal control. Auditors are not responsible for putting internal controls in place, but we consider what we met on ground that the management used in performing and in presenting, in preparing the financial statements. Also, on the general level, some users of accounting information are knowledgeable while some are novice in it, So we let them know what an audit is and what it includes. This is a standard format. We believe that audit evidence gathered so far, we have obtained sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. All these sufficiency, appropriateness of audit evidence had been dealt with. You can check on audit evidence. I think it's a whole series that I did on this channel. So we must express our opinion. Having said all, in our opinion, the statement of financial reports is true and is fair for the company as regards the performance, the cash flow, and the preparation of the financial statements are in accordance, or is in accordance rather, into the international standard practices. Now, when we started, I told us about the signing off. And in signing off, if there are aspects of regulatory requirements, legal procedures, legal issues, this may vary from one audit report to the other, basically because of the industry, the organization, or our clients actually found themselves to be in. Then the auditor's auditor is to append his signature, date the reports, and address it. Nowadays, based on different jurisdiction, there are a bit of controversy as regards should auditor put their address on the pages of clients' reports or not. But one thing that is for sure is that it must be signed off, it must be dated. Don't forget to like GJAMES Associates, subscribe, and comment, share. In nutshell, what have we been discussing and what have we been saying? This is what we've been saying and talking about. The auditor's report must be clear as to who it is addressed to, which the shareholders. Also, the introductory paragraph must outline what the report refers to, which is the audit exercise. The responsibility of the management and the responsibility of the auditors both must be clearly stated. I think by the time you do all this, you've scored a lot of marks already. Also, an explanation of the basis of our auditor's opinion and the conclusion we reached in forming our opinion. Then, last but not the least, we must express our opinion as to the truthfulness and the fairness of the accounts. Just a click, you subscribe. With a click, you like and share. This is important to us, and we believe you can do that for us at GJAMES Associates. If there anything that you'd like us to discuss more on, comment, reach out to us. GJAMES Associates, we are value to life. We are value to your businesses. Next, we shall be talking about other areas of ISAs, like in what way and how under ISA 706 emphasis of matter, what are the matters that auditor may need to emphasize. You can comment if you know all this already, so we won't bother. And if you want us to do more on this, comment so that we know how to go about it. Already we have videos on modification and modified audit reports. You can check it out. My name is Gbenga Olatunji FCA for those that are meeting me for the first time, and we pride ourselves at GJAMES Associates that we are value to life, we are value to your businesses.